What's up, everybody? This is Objective Jerk. How you doing? I am 46 years old, and I am just starting to play Dungeons and Dragons. Um, and like anything else, you start something and you start diving into whatever, and you start coming across politics and BS, and it's like you just But anyway, so this episode is gonna be all nothing but Dungeons and Dragons, some D&D. Hope everybody's doing all right. Let me see. I think this microphone looks a little high. I'm gonna adjust it just a little. Oh, that works. All right. Yeah. Hope everybody had a wonderful. Right. This is the first one after Christmas. I think so. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. I actually had pretty good. We had on Christmas Eve, we had our little Christmas party for the family and stuff, and then they all left like around, I don't know, 9, 10, something like that. And so then we went to midnight mass, which we thought was from 11 to 12, because it was kind of like, oh crap, midnight mass. By the time we got ready and went there, it was like 11:30, and we're like, man, we're gonna be late, but we were actually early. Well, not as early as some people, but and then came home. It was around 1 o'clock, and kids opened their presents, and then me and my sons, we played some Dungeons and Dragons, and was up till like 5 or 6 in the morning, and that was the first time I'd done that in I don't even know how long. Years and years. Over 5 years. I don't think I've stayed up except like when traveling or something, driving it. I don't know. But yeah, so. And then the next day, I felt like I was up all night drinking, man. I was just like, oh, I can't take it no more. I've never much been, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess when I was younger, I was kind of a night owl. I enjoyed, like most kids are, I think, because the parents are asleep and you can kind of do what you want. But, as I get older and older, I find myself being more of a day person, going to bed early and getting up early. What's funny is like my brother was always like that. Well, no matter the time we went to bed, he would get up early. I'd be like sleeping, and he was like, come on, get up, get up. And I'm like, ugh. But, yeah, so that kicked my ass. But D&D, right? So, where do I start? Well, I've always kind of, had a little interest in it. But I never was around somebody that was into it and wanted to like, hey man, you want to join a game and create a character? Except for one time, and that was actually the first time I ever played. It was just like one little short thing. It was a friend of mine in junior high school, and went to his house, spent the night, and we played a little bit of D&D. So this was, him introducing it to me, so it was just me. So we created a character for me real quick, and then I went to, I think it was like a tavern or something, because they all start in taverns or something. And I just remember the whole time I was trying to hook up with some female elf or something, like I wasn't really taking it seriously. I didn't get it. And then that was it. That was pretty much my first and only time playing D&D. And then, but every time I would see it on like movies or shows, especially recently, like, well, not recently, within the last 10 years, I guess. It's been, shown in lots of stuff. And I always think to myself, I was like, man, that's probably pretty fun, man. I never really actively looked for anybody playing, but I was like, you know what, if somebody comes to me saying, hey, we're going to play some D&D, are you interested? I would have been like, yeah, let's do it, but it never happened. Fast forward to now, and what was I watching? Big Bang Theory. I never watched that, so I've been watching that, and then I was kind of like cramming it because it's getting removed off of Netflix at the end of the month. So I was like, oh crap. So I was sitting there kind of like, what do you call it? binge watching, but not really. I mean, it's 12 seasons, so I'd watch. I spent like a week or so, 2 weeks, just watching. If I watched anything, it was that, and I was doing it more than doing anything else. Probably pissing off the wife. Anyway, so there was one of the episodes. I think I want to say they did one every season talking about D&D or something. But there was one, I don't remember which one, but I was just like, you know what? I was like, maybe I could just start playing with my sons. They're older. My oldest son, he's 17, actually almost 18, and he's actually kind of into the stuff. He's actually into it and more knowledgeable than I thought. I didn't know. I know he was kind of into some of it, but I didn't really. And so I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna, if he'll play, and if we can get those two brothers, which they're 12 and 13, right? 12. Whose birthday's coming up? No, he just had one. Is he 14? Yeah, 12 and 14. Wow. Anyway, so, so I was like, okay. So I went and talked to them and see if they want to play, and they're like, yeah, let's play. Almost like they've been waiting. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, where we live, there's not really any kind of stores to get anything, and I already kind of spent my budget. Actually, I didn't spend it this year because Christmas. So every time I get paid, I get a little bit of money for me to kind of buy whatever, and everything else goes to like the family and the house and everything, bills and things like that. So I have to wait till beginning of January, right? But my son, this is when I kind of learned that he was more into it than I realized, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be dungeon master," and he was getting some like some stories and PDFs, and he was helping us create some characters, and then we found the D&D Beyond online, so we created some characters, and we've been playing with like digital dice rolling, and just doing that, and man, just having a blast, actually. Like, just having some fun. Like, I'm actually really enjoying it, and it's giving me something to do with my kids, because some of them want to play video games. I'm not really. I've talked about it before. I can't get into video games anymore. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just, I don't know. But so, I made, or me and my son. I don't know if you can see this. Plus, it's gonna be backwards. But we found like a generic kind of RPG map online, and then I put it on Illustrator, and I traced it, and then we named different areas and buildings and places, and then my son put like barriers, and we put a little key code, and then on the back is a picture of our characters, so we each have this, and then we had a big one made out of like banner material, and so we can put our figures on. And right now we just, my youngest son, he's really into like stop motion, and he still plays with toys, and he loves Legos, so he built our characters all in Legos and stuff, so we're going to use those and everything. So it's really nice, enjoying myself, and the kids were, it's giving us something to all do, because it seems like usually like I can hang out with my kids one at a time, because they like this, and like I'll find something to try but it's hard for all of us to hang out together and do something that we all really enjoy. Like, we'll try and watch a movie, but my one son isn't really into movies, and so it's kind of tough. So this is actually pretty cool, because it really is giving me a chance to bond with my kids, and I'm enjoying myself too. It's not just like, oh, I feel good because I'm bonding with my kids. I'm having fun. Like, I'm getting into it, and so start following some YouTube channels, and start looking into stuff and learning this and that, and then start to kind of find out that just like film and TV and comic books, the stupid woke BS is ruining D&D, and I'm just like, what? So like, research. I'm not here to explain everything. For those that know, and there's way more better, channels that talk about this. So, don't take it from me. Just, if this is your first time hearing it, go look up some people and find out. But yeah, so basically a company, Wizards of the Coast, I guess they they bought it and they just been really like talking trash about the creators and talking about how sexist and this and that, and then like they put out a new book and it's got like just so much like woke crap in it, and it's just like it's ruining it. But thankfully, there's lots of smaller companies or even just individuals that create these games. They're books and they have stories and they have rules and you roll the dice and whatever. And there's a lot of them out there. I had no idea there was like so many. So I'm just like, man. So immediately it's like I'm just overwhelmed with information. Got the woke stuff and it's like, oh man, this sucks. So do we want to do Dungeons and Dragons or do we want to do something else? Looking at like Pathfinder and all these different games, and then it's like, okay, so I researched some games and I'm like, okay, these seem kind of cool. And then I'm like, well, out of these games, which ones can I order from Amazon? So then I go on Amazon and then the list gets smaller. And then I take that list and I send it to my son, like on our chat. And I'm like, hey, out of these, which one would you want to get? And so we were kind of looking to do something else because I don't like supporting the woke crap. I don't mind some inclusiveness and putting, that's fine. But like when you say woke is just like, it's just a bombardment of a nauseating fucking, I just said the F word, but just, it's just relentless. Oh my gosh, more gay, you're too masculine, feminism and just all of it. It's like, that's what woke is. It's like all the, like I can understand some feminism, right? A little bit, I get it. I can understand, some people that have, sex dysphoria or whatever it is, and the gay and this and that. But like when you just take all of it and just throw it at constantly, it's just, ugh.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode. It ruins everything. I've talked about that before. The whole, that community just, they ruined it for themselves. They were doing fine. They were legalizing or making it so they could get married, and it's not like, oh, it's illegal. It was because, it's for like tax purposes and benefits and things like that. They have to, change everything because that's like the biggest problem, but they make it like, oh my God. But so they do that, and then most people like just don't care. Hey, I got a gay friend. Okay, cool. Whatever. As long as he's not trying to grope me or whatever, cool. I don't care. And but then like all this woke crap just started happening, and then they just now people who were supporters of it now are like annoyed by it, and then people who were like annoyed now completely hate that group, and then the people that hate them just hate them even more. You know what I mean? So it's like there was like one step forward and then like 5 steps back now, and it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. So I didn't want to support it. I was like, gosh dang it. So was looking at some other things and talking with my son, and it was like we were going back and forth, and we almost were going to buy Pathfinder and this and that, then buy some dice and this and that. But it was like, as woke and retarded as D&D currently is, they have a history and they got a lot of old books. And then they have these starter kits, which are kind of helpful. They come with like a, one little story and a little bit of the rules and a bunch of dice and just, exactly a starter kit to get you started, right? And that's what we're doing. And then I ordered the 3 core books, I guess they call them, from 2014. You know what I mean? So I figure that's a good starting point. We can use those, those books and get going. And then if we want to, if D&D is still in the retard phase, then we'll venture off to some other games that have similar ways of playing. I don't even know all the lingo or nothing, so it's, because, there's lots of stuff out there. There's some space adventures and some horror stuff. And so that's kind of that's what we're doing. So we're doing like a D&D starter kit. And then I got the three, like what is it? Dungeon Master Guide, the Player's Guide, and the Monster thing. It's like a little pack, the 3 books from 2014. So hopefully within a year or two, by the time we're like looking to maybe do something else, they'll be back on track. Somebody else will buy them because it's not going good for them. So I'm thinking they're going to get sold here, from what I can tell anyway. But yeah, so I mean, other than that, BS, I'm excited to play, and we're supposed to play tonight actually when my wife and kids get back. She picked up the big map, so we can lay it out, and the only thing we don't have is dice, so we just do the digital thing for now. I didn't even look and see if you can just use regular dice and more of it maybe to substitute, but I have no idea. I know some games use the regular dice, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with me. Is anybody else into D&D, and you got any tips or whatever? I know, man, there's so many games, and I mean, you can like get free. My son's downloaded a bunch of free kind of stories to go along with. Like, he's going crazy with it, and he's getting all kinds of stuff. I know there's like some PDFs that you can get, tons of PDFs that you can purchase, download, and print. A lot of them are kind of small, so it's not like you're printing a book, they're smaller. So, and it's kind of crazy. You would kind of think it's like, for people that don't know, and I'm still learning, but it's like you would think like, okay, so you just got like this pamphlet with some rules, to build your character, some rules when playing and this and that, and you get some dice, and you're like, well, what can you do with that? But it's insane. Like, we played for hours, and we spent like 2 hours in a tavern getting things set up. One, because we're kind of new, but mainly because my one kid is just like all over the place. He wants to do everything all at once. He wants to do all his stuff. Ooh, I want to trick this guy. Ooh, I want to steal this. I want to do that. It's like, dude, we're in the tavern. Let's get going on the mission, It's like, let's go. So it's like, I'm constantly like, come on. And like, we'd be traveling, and there's like some kind of massive tree. This is all from, I don't know, my son got it. He's taking stuff and then making up his own stuff. But a massive tree, kind of like from Lord of the Rings. He's standing there, and he's looking, and they're like pretty much indestructible, and you don't want to piss them off, and they could easily kill you if you like spook, so it's like, we don't want to go up to it really. And so we're trying to figure out what to do, right? And that same son of mine is like, let's just shoot some burning arrows into it and burn it and this and that. And it's like, dude, we don't have to attack and do, everything that we see. It's like, let's see if we can get by without, because we didn't want to venture off the side too much, because we don't know what's there. Maybe there's something worse, right? And then we learned there was like a path that we could maybe get around them, right? So we had like that option, but I can't remember how it came across, because we had another character that was in our group that was I guess what they call an NPC, right? Non-player character, yeah. And so he informed us, or I can't remember how we got the information, but the tree was probably looking for water, because it's kind of a drought, and they drink a lot of water or something like that. So, and then we had learned that there was like a spring or something so far off to the east, and it was like, okay. So it's like, well, how about why don't we try and just let him know where that's at? Maybe he'll walk away and we don't have to worry about it. And maybe even make like an ally or a friend or something, right? And the kid that wants to attack everything, right? He's not even like a warrior or nothing. He's a gnome, and he has like like he picked his character. He's taking it seriously, but he also is just like he wants to be able to like be what is it? Be persuasive or be God, I can't even think of the terms right now. But like be able to like pick up girls really easy. Kind of like how I was thinking, I guess, back when I first played D&D. So I can't get too upset about it. But he has like a broom that he can fly on. I don't know how that is whatever because I didn't. And so it was like, okay. I was like, why don't you go fly up to this tree guy and say, hey, keep your distance and inform him of the water, right? So the dice are rolling and whatever, and it all works out, and the tree walks away, and then we go, and it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy because that scenario probably took like 40 minutes or something, you know what I mean? Because you get there, you get some information, everybody's talking, there's some dice rolling, there's this, it's crazy, but it really, you do kind of really get, and you are immersed without even trying. You get immersed into this world, because you're just the dungeon master or the DM. He's talking about it, and you're picturing it, and you can just see it in your head. And then he's doing this, and you're talking. It's crazy, you know what I mean? It's a lot of fun though. I bet you probably someday they'll have some kind of VR thing or something that will like tap into our brains and our imagination, right? And so the DM's going to be able to like paint the picture, and then like we kind of like in Inception, where they fill it with their subconscious or their whatever, you know what I mean? So everybody's so you'll actually be able to see what everybody's thinking, and I don't know, someday, right? But I don't know. I just want, the biggest thing for me was because a lot of stuff is digital now, so like you can play as like a DM, I guess, with your phone, with the D&D and Beyond, and roll the dice, and it can do all the stuff, the points, which is kind of what we're doing now a little. But the goal is to put the phones away and just have paper and dice. And, my son's going to have a laptop, whatever, because he's got to have a lot of info. And that's it, kind of just to get rid of the distractions and the phones and all that crap. And just be in the moment with our imagination and have a good time, So that's so far, we've played 3-4 times, and like I said, we don't even have everything yet, but it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. You play D&D. What's your thoughts on the actual company D&D and the Wizards? What is it? Wizards of the Coast or something like that. Your thoughts. Let me know. But thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. God bless, and I will see you guys next time. All right, bye. You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.